welcome. Today we're going to talk about QR codes and iPads. The great thing about iPads and QR codes is that all you need to use on the iPad is the camera app, which most people have. If you have an iPhone, you have a camera app. If you have a Android phone, you have a camera app. If you have a Google phone, you have a camera app. So you might be a little bit familiar with it. If not, that's okay. Your LTI can help you find the camera app on your iPad. What I would recommend is while you are making them from the teacher perspective is downloading the QR code extension. I currently have it downloaded, otherwise right here would ask me to download. It's telling me now to remove from Chrome. But once you have the QR extension, you can literally make anything into a QR, any site that you go to. So one of my favorite sites to use with students is Get Epic for videos specifically, and for their read aloud options and stories. That's just because I want to make sure that everything is accessible for my students. Now, once I log into my Epic account, I am going to go ahead and explore, and let's pretend that I am creating a unit around coding. Once I'm here, I can look for the Read to Me books. Again, I want to make sure that it's accessible for everybody. All About Coding, this looks like a great book. First, I would definitely recommend going through the book and making sure that it's exactly what I'm looking for. However, once I get to this page to create a QR code museum, I can click the little puzzle piece at the top right. It says extensions. Once I click it, I do have the QR code extension, and ta-da, it is right here. I have this QR code made. Something that I like to do just because I like to resize mine. I don't get it right from there. I open the snipping tool. I just literally type down here snip, and snipping tool comes up. Once I have snipped my little QR code and I copy it, I can right click and copy, or I can click Control C on my keyboard. Then I go to my QR code museums. Here are some QR code museums I've already made. I'm just going to make it in a Google Doc, easy peasy. However, I would like to do it for my students. Again, let's say this is a coding unit. I like to insert a table just to keep everything in its space. And ta-da, I have a QR code right here. I can also link the QR code if I want to by copying the URL at the top of the page, clicking my QR code. You can right click and you can click insert link, or right here you can click Control K. Either way, you can paste by right clicking and clicking paste, or doing Control V, apply. Now this is linked, so if I need to go back later and double check and make sure that book was appropriate. On this side, I like to put a graphic for my students, and that's just me personally to make sure they know what they're reading. So again, using this snip tool, I might just snip this little book. Again, copy it and paste it in this square. And that's just so they know when they scan this code, they are scanning, they're going to this QR code, to this book. You can continue to do this. I'll go ahead and show you one of the QR code that I've already made for second grade. In their content area, they have a force, motion, and energy unit. Right here, I've linked Brain Pop videos. They do have a school login, so here's some Brain Pop videos. Everyone in the county has access to Britannica, so Britannica also does a read aloud option, which is great. And then, of course, some Epic books as well. So they had 3 different options, 3 different ways that they can access the materials. They actually chose to use this during literacy. It's one of their rotations, is the QR code museum. They cut out these strips horizontally, so these two go together, and they tape them on the wall so students can walk up and scan their code and find a good spot to sit and listen, or sit and read, depending on what they'd like to do. And so in literacy, they get to continue their learning about science, which is pretty cool. So getting that cross-curricular aspect. Another thing we did was we created a recording sheet for them. So what we had was they had to write one fact on the right side of any of the videos they watched, or the stories they listened to, or articles they read. Now, I'm not going to click on that only because their password is there, but that is just one way you can use QR code museums. Again, you can link it to a book you'd like them to read, a website you'd like them to visit, an article you'd like them to see. Sometimes it's just simply getting them somewhere you need quicker. I might, if we are doing a coding activity on code.org, and I decide that I want to go to the Learn page. I'm working specifically with my kindergarteners. Once I pick K5, I'm going to do the Pre-Reader Express because they are still working on their letters and reading. And maybe we decide to just start at the basics of how do you drag and drop. It says click the block. Okay, again, this has a read aloud option, which is great. Here, I would go to my QR code extension, and I might print these out for the class to say, today we're doing a QR code. We're going to have a QR code museum that leads us straight into a coding opportunity. And so this just gets ta-da! Pretty cool. All right, if you have any questions, please make sure to reach out to your Learning Technology integrator. First, you start with downloading the QR code extension. Secondly, you can choose to snip or copy and paste. That's up to you. Thirdly, you can make it into a Google Doc if that's easiest for you. And fourthly, you can use it for any topic, any subject area. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.